How's it going, everyone? It's your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself, and welcome to some For Honor. Just like everyone else, I've had the ability to access the open beta and the closed beta and the closed alpha. So I've played quite a bit of For Honor before the game actually releases this Valentine's Day, but I would like to get my thoughts on it now because through the playtesting I've done, I've gotten a relatively decent feel for the game, and for what they've given us to play with, I want to give my true and honest thoughts. Now, I really like this game. I really do. At first, I was kind of indifferent on it. I felt like what they gave us for the beta, it was good in terms of gameplay. It was solid, you know what I mean? The best thing I could say for is that it was solid, but there really wasn't a thing about it that actually had me hooked and made me say, yes, I need this game in my collection. But as I continued to play the game, once I got my chance to play in the closed beta, and I got to play around with the newer game mode that actually let us get into, the elimination game mode, where it was 4v4, and you were running around this really huge map with power-ups on the ground. Now, the power-ups, I can kind of go with or without, it didn't really bother me too much, but it's the fact that it's a 4v4 kind of duel. Well, excuse me, you have the duel mode, which is the 1v1, which a lot of people tend to actually partake in. I mean, that's cool and everything, but I don't know. It's weird. I like the duels, don't get me wrong. It's just not my personal thing. If I had to pick one, it probably wouldn't be the duel. Now, the brawls I really like because if it was 2v2. I want to say it was probably because you could actually have a friend accompany you into this fight, so that way if your friend needed the backup or you need the backup, they can be there for you, and vice versa. So I thought when they did the 4v4 and made the map a lot more open, I was like, this is actually really cool. And I found myself playing that particular game mode for the longest time when I was actually playing the open beta. The closed beta, I played quite a bit of it too, but I didn't really touch it up until, I want to say like the very end, or I might be getting my facts wrong, and I don't think I played it in the closed beta actually, but suffice it to say, I will say this is my favorite game mode, and next to Dominion, they'll be the two game modes that I'll be playing for the most part. This actually is a Dominion match right now, in which I felt that I did relatively good in, because because it's not an easy way to gauge player skill through, you know, numbers, because I mean numbers mean nothing. It just mean, it could seriously just mean that they're trying a different character now. But I'm just going to say that if numbers were important, the numbers that my teammates were exhibiting were much lower than that of the enemy team. I think the highest level person on my team was, I think, like a level 3, and for them they had like I think they had a level 12 as well as like a level 8 or something like that. I want to say that they were probably using characters that they were more familiar with versus my teammates who were using characters that they themselves were not actually more familiar with. So I felt like I backpacked this particular fight right here, well, not this fight, this entire match, because at the end of the match I was the only one to hit double digits, and I was the only one to go over 5 kills on my team, which is interesting. So I want to say I did really well this game. I attacked where I needed to attack. There were some mistakes that I messed up on, but I felt like I pressured the enemy so that way my team could, I guess, do some things, because like you can only do so much as one person. I feel like I gave them the pressure so that way they can think that we are a greater attacking force than what we actually gave on to be, because honestly we were actually not a greater attacking force than what we let on to be. It was just me harassing the hell out of them, which in honesty is due in part to the Berserker's true nature. The Berserker is a character that is made to harass its opponents, which is cool because I never really saw myself as a Berserker kind of guy. I normally use the Raider in the open beta and the closed alpha. Those are the two classes I use the absolute most, but it wasn't until the open beta where I actually started to use the Berserk, and I actually really liked it. I mean, I'm still a Raider guy, don't get me wrong. I like me some Raider, hands down all day. I'm a Raider man till the day that I die, but the Berserk is a lot of fun too. But I think we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Let's go back to my impressions of the game. When it comes to the classes, my favorite family of classes are the Viking class. I want to say I'm a little bit biased because, for one, I don't necessarily like the samurai too much. Not so much just the game samurai, but just samurai in general. I mean, I like the honor aspect of who they are and like what they stand for and whatnot, but I don't really, I don't gravitate towards, you know, samurai. Now the knights family, they're actually really, like, I want to say they're some of the most underlooked classes. Dead serious. The Conqueror is by far and large the greatest 1v1 dueling hero to use, because since the alpha, every single time I came in contact with a Conqueror, it was never like, yeah, man, I think I have a chance at beating this guy. It was always, oh my god, a Conqueror. Hopefully I can run away and he won't notice me. That's honestly my thought. Cause whenever I come across a Conqueror, they block everything. I know they have abilities which they can block everything, like literally no matter what, they can block everything. But either people use Conquerors are very dual heavy type people, because when it comes to a 1v1 situation, I cannot win against a Conqueror. Like, very rarely do I win against Conquerors. And people seem to, like, not a lot of people seem to, I guess, exploit that, but I guess a lot of people want to play with the characters they actually have more fun with, which in itself is cool. So if there was a character that is a trouble character, in my honest opinion, universally, it would have to be the Conqueror, because he can block everything, he does high damage. Now, people, like I said, they don't take advantage of this, because I want to say they pick the characters they actually have a lot of fun with. Not saying the other characters aren't very strong themselves, but I really want to say that the characters that you seem to have fun with just seems to flow better with you and have a better time at actually playing the game, meaning you have more fun. And this game is fun, and it's a lot of fun when you actually get to play the characters that you really want to play with. If people like that dueling aspect, or being that super tank, yo, run your Conqueror. But if you want to be really swift and sneaky style, whatnot, you know, be a bit more of an assassin, you pick the Peacemaker. Is it Peacemaker, Peacekeeper, Lawbringer, whatever? I forget the name of the class. You know what I'm talking about. Or if you want to be kind of like the Peacemaker or the Peacekeeper or the whatever the heck I was just talking about, but want to, you know, fight for your Viking brothers. I mean, the Berserker is literally right there. So I'm a fan of the diversity. Like, I honestly cannot get mad at any of the characters. The only character, like I said, that it's actually, in my opinion, is still a bit stronger than a lot of people like to give him credit for is the Conqueror. Man is mad strong. Everyone else is really balanced too. The Kenshi, I want to say, out of all the Vanguards, is probably the strongest Vanguard now. At first, in the closed alpha at least, he was definitely the weakest. He got no play. I mean, people were killing him left and right for no reason. He was by far and large the weakest. But when it comes to dueling, I will give it to the Warden out of the Vanguards, who's the better of the three. And when it comes to pretty much everything else, like the base all around, straightforward, kind of get everything. The guy that benefits from all situations, I'm giving it to the Viking. The Viking Raider, excuse me. His throw, excuse me, is a phenomenal tool. And I love using it, and the fact that they actually buffed it to give you additional range that you can actually throw your enemies is insane. Because if need be, you can be full cross away from a cliff and carry your enemy all the way over there, then toss them over the side and, you know, come out with the win. I've done it a couple of times, so that's really cool. They nerfed him in terms of attack strength and I guess a bit of stamina, but so long as they kept the throw in there and made it a little bit stronger, I still think he's a fine character. But needless to say, I really have nothing else really bad to say about the game. I like what it has to offer right now. I will say that for honestly, I don't know, I feel kind of weird that the price obviously is going to be a $60 game, but the content versus price, I almost don't feel is what we have right now is worth it. But I would like to be proven wrong and think that there's actually additional game modes and additional things that they've actually there's additional things they have yet to let us have the chance of actually utilizing. And if so, I would say it's solely a $60 game, because as it stands right now, in my honest opinion, I see 40 bucks. I mean, it does have the DLC, and you can buy the season pass and get the new warriors a week early before everyone else, similar to that of Rainbow Six Siege. If you get the season pass, you actually get to use the new operators a week before everyone else. But the DLC, in terms of maps and gear and everything, is free for everyone. And you don't need the season pass to get the new, the new warriors, because if you could use the game's in-game currency to actually buy them and get them that way. So that's actually really cool too. How much these characters are going to cost, I don't necessarily know, but going from Rainbow Six Siege, the character were $25,000 in the in-game currency to actually buy the characters. Now the money to get in Siege was a little bit harder to get than that of For Honor, so I'm wondering how much it's actually going to cost for people to get it, so that way they can actually keep their model looking really good. But with that being said, everyone, that's pretty much all I have for you when it comes to this game. I really like it so far. I think it's a great title. I'm probably going to buy it day one. If not, I'll probably get it like, oh wait, someone did get 6 kills, whatever. I'll probably get it somewhere down the line. But with that being said, everyone, it's been your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself. If you like this game and you're looking forward to it, yo, let me know. Maybe we can get a couple games in as well. I'll be playing on the PlayStation 4, by the way. Till then, take care.